So, right on the heels of the last episode, where I talk about the structure of Calibishie, the mindset, the prevailing ideology which was taking place in the village at the time, which gave me my sense of understanding of life and of community and of responsibility and of respect. Remember, in earlier episodes, I told you that I stuck to the side of service and I wanted to continue to serve. I moved on to try to do things in the line of service and respect of law and order, authority, understanding systems. And I am still on that track. I never deviated because I got an early start from the community. So I talk about the extremes. Some boys in the community went to the extreme with the attitude of the time, and some of us did not. And I, in retrospect, would have done the same if I could do it today. Not go with the swing at the time. So marijuana was a big thing. It's a herb. I never categorized marijuana as a drug. But the herb can have some effect on you according to how you use it. And to the extent you use it, and when you use it. Again, I cannot teach on that because I'm not an expert on herbs. But I understand marijuana at the time to be something that we should not do. And we didn't do it. Well, I did not do it. But there was one time that I did. It was a time that I was playing with my partner Quail, Kelvin, under our house, Manib's house. We used to go under the house and spend hours at a time playing with our little matchbox truck and sardine tin, corned beef, whatever tin we had, we would convert it into trucks. And sometimes we would do trailers and add little links to our trailers. And we would build our little sandbanks. And, you know, the boys in the village at the time can tell you that we did play under the house. And if you look at the height of my grandmother's house now, I mean, we would be under there at the 10, 9, 8, playing our little cars. And then at Christmas time, when we got our little plastic cars for our little wheels, woo, give us room. We'd make bridges and all kind of things. We'd have fun. So we also played on the Sunshine House, Jakey. That is the house of Son and Lute where he used to live there for a long time. That house had been around before my time. So we used to play under that house. At that time, when we were playing under that house was a lovely house to us. It is still a lovely house. And I lament the fact that this house was dismantled. We should have kept this house as a living testimony of humility and humble living. But it's gone. Long story short, Quail and I got a bag. I think it was a 1 pound paper bag under that house of sun. And when we opened the bag, there were 16 marijuana cigarettes in the bag. But we had seen people smoking before. People like Derek, Coco for Cayenne, big eyes, big thick glasses. Oh, he had loved to smoke. He was like a virtual chimney. But he would never offer us because I've never met anybody who do weed or other substances and offer you. If they know you don't do it, they choose not to. So he never did. And the other fellas in the community too would smoke, but they never offered the younger boys to smoke. So Quail and I decided we're going to try out with the smoking thing. So we got a spliff. I think we got a a coal, little fire coals. Because back in the day, everybody cooked on wood. So the little food always had fire. The fire never went out in Calibishie Calibishie kitchens. Because when breakfast was done, the coal stayed there, and then you could put more wood to do it for lunch and dinner. I think at night sometimes they used to put it out with water. But the foyer was always hot in Calibishie. We cooked every day, 3 times a day, religiously. My microwave and fridge, something that wasn't existing as yet. We had no lights until at a different stage in my life. And water, we spoke about that already. Water was life at the river. So Quail and I, we light a spliff using one of the fire coals. And I was the first to pull. I pull. But I suspect the smoke passed in the wrong hole, wrong area. And I started to cough. So I passed the spliff to Quail. And foolishly, seeing me coughing, Quail still pull. And pull harder than me. And Quail started to cough. So after that 2 pull and the little puff, I never tried marijuana again. I didn't think it was for me because I had a bad experience with it at first. I don't think Quail ever did it again. But we drank our little wine every now and then. And there was one time Quail break a sou. But I wouldn't talk about that. That was a little embarrassing. So I'll leave that alone, Kelvin. So we got the marijuana. We tried it. It didn't work out. So we decided we're going to sell it. Back then, it was $1 a marijuana spliff. And the spliff were big like cigarettes. Right now, when I say the spliff, it's a little thin thing like a blade. No. The spliff were real big thing and people didn't put anything in it. This kind of a thing all sprang and put in other things. No, it was pure tobacco. And then the guys used to do something called Fat Man as well. Well, you had to be good to pull a Fat Man. But I saw the guys did it. Long story short, the cigarette, the spliff sold for $1 back then. I remember very well. Because we told Coco, well, we have 16 of them. So give us $15 because we spoke one already. What smoke that no one pull we? So Coco said, okay. He took it. He smiled. Well, he grinned literally. He put his hand in his pocket and Coco gave us 36 cents. He said that's what he have. He'll give us the rest later on. Well, that was somewhere around 1979. 1978, 79 there. And Coco is still owing us the balance of our money. He got a good deal. I think he might have smoked it all that day. And that is my experience with marijuana. I never went beyond that, nor do I frown on it. But the moral here is, let us be careful with the use of the herb or any other substance that you consume and make the right decisions, because sometimes the decisions that we make as youth stay with us for an eternity. And I can speak about that because I can tell you about some of those experiences and those decisions that I made and the repercussions of those decisions. So that's it in terms of the episode on my foray with marijuana. We will see what comes up next, and I'll continue to relate the stories as they come to me.